Stupid, bruh, trying to stack cheese, you know I'm on my units. I've been focused on position, on these for wishing petty luck. Blowing bombs, Hiroshima going nuclear. Niggas getting money, you cloud chasing stupid, bruh. Trying to stack cheese, you know I'm on my units. I've been focused on position, on these for wishing petty luck. Blowing bombs, Hiroshima going nuclear.
Be a second, guys. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Not too much to say, I'm stumbling drunk. Pissy as ever. Trying to talk to you, baby. You don't see me as clever.
So this is an Ice interview with Young Bale. Make you stay tuned.
Just see what the thighs like. Trying to hit that, knowing now the time's right. Hold up on you, turning me on, knowing that I ain't your type. Taking it off, dropping the draw so I can get up in you and slide. Flesh to flesh, heart beating, temperature rising. Sensation and sex is all up in the air. Passion, smashing, dashing when the coast is clear. Knowing I'm here today, ain't no telling I'll be back. Going on my phone telling me you need that. Back down, keep the pound in town. Quit pounding paper, girl, you know Bell gonna get around.
I like your name, I missed the music shit. Hey. Hey guys. Hey Jerome. Hey Cooler God. Hey Touch.
Drinking rose, go after your best friend.
I know he's in Vegas.
Trying to creep through, seeing what happened.
Chill. Thank you, appreciate that.
Told me to roll up, so you know I'm coming through. Watching you bend it over.
Just waiting for Young Bale to come in.
No one else that's near, cause you know that they be wildin'. White grapes.
Why don't you DM me?
Get you out of your top. Please don't fight it, even though I'm feeling you, baby. I won't wife you. Want you to kick it. So maybe if you think that's cool, whenever you in the mood, know you with it. That's your girls, yeah, they showing up. I guess they jealous cause you the only real one that be showing love.
I love the way you've been looking my way, baby. Don't hesitate, you can come on.
Where is your... I can't invite... here we go.
I'ma give you a taste of what you've been waiting for till the night's over.
Okay, saying you need to upgrade your Instagram. Young Bale is saying you need to upgrade. Hold on. You need to update your Instagram so you can go live with me. I'm trying to request you.
Match clothes
there we go.
See, I do what I do, just as all just for you. Pick and choose, a better view.
It's saying to upgrade.
For my girl, stand up for your man like what? 10 toes down, go ahead and fix your crown. I just want you to enjoy your life, since you know what I'm thinking, right? Telekinesis, pick up the pieces. I scramble words like your favorite nerd. It's LOVE, drip on OD, likes on.
Alright, cool. I'll just keep playing your music.
I cheat when we OT. You hear the rumors, you hear the whispers. We together, that's the kicker.
He's just upgrading, guys. So make sure you stay tuned.
Don't hesitate, you can come on over. Let's get face to face. I'ma give you a
Oh, I like this song.
taste of what you've been waiting for till the night's over. Ooh, I know I'm thinking the same thing.
Where's my lip gloss?
I know you wanna get with me. I know I'm thinking the same thing. I know I'm thinking the same thing.
I know you're probably thinking, why is it black?
I've been searching for better days. Yeah, I know it's a million and one ways. Stop here for me to take it. I got no choice but to make it. I always been real and I ain't about to stop faking. Now I gotta get it all.
Been searching for better days. But the streets get cold, the heat is on, and you might just go as I look to my God up in heaven.
So make sure you guys follow Young Bell 28. He just dropped has he just dropped this album?
When you bury them before you celebrate. Death hit different while you out here money chasing.
Neat Clip came out last year.
Because I'm going through it trying to find peace, but my peace is only through the music. My heart won't let
The
go.
latest release, let's play the latest release.
I'm just waiting on to explode.
Truly Yours, released recently. So make sure you guys listen, subscribe, follow, support for support. Oh my god, I look like I've got like, now I look like I've got the stuff on my lips.
I'm saddened that you're going. I wish I could sit down and just talk to you. Laugh one more time. Take a walk with you. Show you how much I really care. We ain't talking issues. I'm talking love. The same love when I came to see you. How your eyes lit up. I knew you was excited. Had the whole hood out. Would've thought I wasn't right. Cause sitting showing me some pictures. Probably me and that.
Oh, it's a nice interview. Hey, Carl. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I just seen you dropped a new album, Truly Yours. When did you drop that?
January 5th.
Oh, okay. Because Nuclear comes up first on your Spotify.
Yeah,
I'm a Spotify lover. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm a Spotify lover.
it's all right.
I don't know how to use Apple at all, so we're just gonna have to move on with the English. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm good. I feel like I'm really close to the screen. But never mind. So we've got some questions to go through today. So first of all, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from New Brunswick, New Jersey. I currently live in New York City. For a while, I lived in South Carolina. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I moved around.
So you have you always stayed on East Coast?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
I
you're
do
back
got
in
family out west though.
Oh, have you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
I've never been to West, but I have been through Queens, New York,
Gotcha.
Virginia, North Carolina, well, Charlotte,
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, I'm always on the East Coast. I love you guys on the East Coast. I love you guys on the West Coast as well, but you never invite me. So
Respect.
you know. So, but yeah. Okay. So you dropped your album in January.
Yes.
Nuclear as well. I like Nuclear. Like I've just realised, honestly, you dropped an album in January, but because I was listening to Nuclear.
Yes.
And I don't know what it is. Like it's less aggressive, but the album, your voice. And I don't know whether this is because this is a recent situation that's happened, but it's got a very DMX vibe. I don't know, and I don't know whether that's because you just haven't got that. You just need that a bit more aggression in your
Everybody
voice.
says that.
Really? Oh
Everyone
my
says
god!
that.
I was like, and I don't know whether it's because DMX is fresh in my mind at the moment
Yeah.
because of his death. R.I.P. to him because he
God
was.
bless.
Literally, like he passed away on the same day that our Prince died, and I was in tears about DMX.
Yeah, I heard about that. I seen that.
Yeah, I'm not. He's 99 years old. I'm like, you, bruh, like you've lived a good life and,
Right.
and a rich life,
Right.
you know. So I know it sounds bad, but I don't have as much sympathy for that because I'm like, you've lived. But DMX still had so much more to give, you know?
Yes. 100%.
So, which is really sad. And I grew up on him. He got me through a lot of teenage years. So,
Listen,
yeah, it's so sad. But,
facts, y'all, my man's
you know.
out here.
Hey guys. Oh, I need to like put these.
And my sister's
okay.
in here.
Hey sis, nice to see you. Which one's your sister?
Honey Ziggy Mommy. That's my sister.
Let me get her.
She's in here.
It's so crazy because I just went into a really like, who's your sister? You know? But yeah, I was like, I really wanted to kind of touch on that, like a little bit more like aggression,
Yeah.
and you would be like literally DMX. Have you ever thought about doing like a kind of like a track, one of his tracks, like a cover track for him?
Sure. It just never popped up in the aspect of doing it in like a tribute, but sure.
I would love
Yeah,
to see that. I would definitely love to see that. Be like, so so out of all the music that you've created, what is your favorite track, would you say?
From this project or just period, like songs.
Period. Oh, from your projects, not from anybody else's, your project. So what would
Yeah.
you say? So if you had a favorite track and you had to perform it in front of some A&Rs, for example, which one would you go for?
I would say, Nuclear, Problem, and Every Time.
Okay. And do you often have collaboration tracks as well? Because I can see that you've got a couple of singers on there, which you don't see very often.
Yes.
And you really complement each other as well on the track. So,
Appreciate
which
that.
is really good. So do you do that often?
I try to, not as always. As long as the song fits, basically.
Mm.
As long as
And if
it
you,
makes sense. I
if
never
you,
try to force it.
no, of course, it has to be a good kind of togetherness, you know.
Yeah.
It has to be, you have to be on the same vibe. And I say that for any artist, you have to be willing to work with that person.
Yeah.
And you also so just because somebody may have, like, you know, you can have those famous people and stuff, it doesn't mean that collaboration is going to be good, because your sounds may be completely opposite. Like,
Right.
so for example, pop music. Well, actually, you know what though? Rap and hip hop kind of really, they can actually touch on quite a lot of genres anyway.
Yes.
So you never know. I think that kind of puts you in the like upper league of things as well, especially with your voice.
I appreciate that. I've been getting
I
a lot
really,
of love from my voice as of late. So
yeah.
that's
You
a
got that New
beautiful
York voice. I can't do it.
It's okay.
But I'm too squeaky for that. So if you could collab with anybody, and like dead or alive,
Okay.
who would you? Okay, we'll go for dead first of all. Who would you collab with, dead?
Passed away artist. I'm not saying this because he recently passed away, but DMX definitely.
Yeah,
I would say Biggie.
some real old school hip hop.
I would say Pac. I would say Michael Jackson too. I know a lot of people probably think, "Whoa, why Mike?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Joints. And the last
And
one,
he's good.
I'll probably say Prince too, because I like his soulfulness with the music. You feel me?
Yeah. I really do think that you could touch base on each of those kind of like not genres, those different sounds, because they all have very different sounds. Obviously, like Tupac, Biggie, and DMX are all like pure hip hop. But they are the G's. They are the G's. No one can take that legendary away. So, you know, and like, I mean, there is some really good artists that like who are like, no, the hip hop is just not the same anymore. Do you feel that?
Maybe the feeling that we get as far as that essence of it, that love for it, as far as like being able to get that same nostalgic feeling. But I mean, you know, things change. You know what I mean? You just gotta go with the times of it. You know.
I mean, there is, like, yourself. You're a hip hop artist. I feel like you've got that sound, that old school sound.
Appreciate it.
Obviously, because you sound a little bit like DMX. So, you know, it goes without saying.
Yes.
But it's kind of like, I feel like those people that have that original sound are appreciated by people like my era,
Okay.
but they're not appreciated as much for the new era of kids and stuff like that. And I really would like to see kids being like, trying to get back into the hip hop and really understanding it. And I do think that we need to hold some like, hey, this is the original hip hop. This is the original sound.
Yes.
So I would love to see that. So you never know. Food for thought for you, because you're the original. So when did you learn that you was a musician?
Say it again. My apologies.
When did you? That's okay. It's the accent. When did you know when you was a musician? So when did you actually think, oh my God, like I've really got this?
I'm gonna say, okay, so I started writing raps at like 13, but I started rapping at like 7, 8. But from a serious level, like really being professional, I would say 19, 18, like around there.
And how old are you now?
27.
Okay, so you've had some number of years. I thought you were younger than that, but yeah. So I would say, when did you start taking it seriously? But you said 19.
Yeah.
19. Yes. And what genre would you say you fall under? So would you say you're a rapper, or would you say you're a hip hop artist, or just an artist?
A little bit of both, yeah. I mean, I don't never try to box myself in.
Yeah.
I let people decide, what artist I am versus me saying it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel if you put me in so many pockets, I can find a way to fit in. So that's why you see me working with artists like Brianna Marin. She's more on like the soulful sound. Me and her did a record. Or then you could see me working with someone like Dre Scuffs, who does more like conscious music. Then you can see me working with someone like Porter Rich, you know what I'm saying, who's a real good friend of mine, who does more of like, street hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So I basically try to blend so many sounds or so many pockets. That way,
I love it. So you're quite what do they call those animals that basically blend?
Chameleon.
That's it. So you're like a chameleon. You basically can blend. You can try. And the thing is, though, it's good to have that. Like, even if it's kind of like, something different, you can challenge yourself to do that. And I think that's dope to be able to do that as well, because it really shows that your work ethic. Like, hey, I've never touched this genre before, but hey, I'm gonna have a look at this and basically try this. So I really like that's dope that you do that. So what inspires you to make music?
Just the things that I go through. That's what I write about. These are the things that I like to speak about in my music. Growing up, I had a speech impediment. So growing up, I was like a shy, boy. I never really wanted to speak in front of like crowds and things like that, and I was going through a lot of personal, so music helped me bring that out.
Yeah.
So that's really, as well as artists too, rap artists, like Jay-Z and Fifth and guys like that.
So look, when you say speech impediment, because you sound perfectly fine to me, but you never know, because I've got a lisp, so I know I can understand that. So what was it that you had?
So I was born with a stutter. So like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sometimes when I talk, you might hear it. But as of late, people say they don't hear it, but that's because I've learned to utilize it properly. Know when to speak. Breathe when I speak. Things of that nature.
Okay. So when you started rapping and stuff like that, was you still going through that,
No.
Did it kind of help you?
Yes, 100%. It's like a rhythmic tone. So when you're rapping, you know what you're saying already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you're rapping it or you're speaking in a certain vocal tone, so it helps your voice smooth out. Versus when you're regularly speaking, you're thinking of things to say on the fly. Or people probably don't know, but when people who do start it, you already have the words in your head. You just got to get them out.
Yeah, that's similar to like dyslexia as well. Like dyslexic people,
Yes.
your work. Like, unfortunately, I have like when I was younger, I had speech problems where I've still got lists, but I've learned how to. I had elocution lessons basically to try and speak better.
Yeah.
And also, I forgot what I was going to say.
So,
oh yeah, so you your words are like going, you've got so many words going through your head at the same time.
Yes.
And you're just like, you don't want to see me in an argument. I'll probably make no sense. So I'll be like literally like literally, but I can appreciate that. But and it's funny because you see a lot of when artists are going through that stuff, music is the therapy to kind of help resolve that.
100%.
So, as you know, and it's just crazy because people pay thousands of pounds or dollars to go to therapists to go and get that kind of situation sorted.
Yeah.
But, you know, music is the kind of like I just feel like anybody that has a stutter or anything like that, I feel like if they did music, even if they did music and they don't have that kind of the vocals for it, they'll probably find that it helps them, like for real. So
yeah.
another little tip. So you've got like, seriously, you could basically run a kind of like a class on things how to overcome certain things. So like,
I appreciate
you know, it's amazing because the way you're controlling it is really good. Like I can't even hear it. So
years of just speech therapy, like years of it.
Yeah,
that's helped.
That's dope. That makes you, that just makes you special. We're special. So what are your inspirations though? So I asked you a question and we just kind of went off onto another subject. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's your inspirations in music?
As far as what, just wanting to be one of the best, wanting to be respected, not only for being from Jersey, but just to be respected in music, period. Who are those? 1A and 1B, 50 Cent and Jay-Z. There's more, but that's 1A and 1B.
Yeah. Why 1A and 1B? So who's the A?
Hov is 1A. Jay-Z is 1A, and then Fifth is 1B. But I say that because you can never really, for me, you can never really compare both of them as far as saying like who's my number one favorite rapper as far as for me, because they both left a significant impact for me.
Yeah.
So that's why the 1A, 1B.
And if you could change anything about the industry, especially between the mainstream and the underground industry, what would you change?
If I could change one thing about the music business?
Yeah.
I would say the way that contracts are structured.
Okay.
A lot of people, a lot of artists, this may be some sort of jewel that I'm leaving here. So I just want to say this, but artists probably don't know, but a lot of record contracts that are used have been used for the past 40, 50 years. They don't change their business model. So that's one thing. And another thing would probably be, just one more, it would be like a better or more simple way for artists to really understand, what they're really jumping in, because this is a real business. This is not just the music friendship. This is the music business. So
yeah, exactly.
Take that into consideration.
I mean, paperwork is very important.
Yes.
Definitely, you reading the contract and understanding the contract. I do feel like kind of like labels do need to change their ways, but also it's kind of the artist's responsibility to actually understand what they're
Yes.
signing up for.
Yes.
So if they're not sure, and that's the thing is, I feel like artists are afraid that if they don't take up the opportunity, that's like, say for example, you get like $100,000. I have to keep saying dollar because you're in America.
It's okay. I know what you mean when you say pounds. Trust me.
If you get £100,000 deal, you like people are afraid to actually think that they're going to miss an opportunity if they don't sign up for it.
Right.
But then they could be, like for example, we've seen a lot of situations where all their copyrights are taken, all their their rights to their music is taken, and then they can't get out of this contract. They are like literally suffocated with just lots of pressure and stuff like that, over 100K, which is like, in reality, once you've covered all the costs of like the distribution, the marketing, the music videos, the cost behind those, 100K isn't shit, like literally. So it's about understanding your paperwork. And I do feel like, I don't know if they still kind of do this, but when I first started the music industry, business side of things, I went to a lot of conferences that basically taught that. Even Google, like, you can educate yourself on Google. So you're definitely right, 100% about that. And you know what? That's the most different answer I've had.
Really?
It's the most different answer I've had, because no one ever thinks about the contract side of things, and I love it. So
I mean, I've been through about 2 of them so far, so I guess that's what makes me say that, But yeah, because we fight so hard to get to these moments, and then when you get to these moments, and then you hear all these nightmares of artists signing deals that they can't leave out of, it's like, well, wow, that's what we work so hard for, just to get,
exactly.
Yeah, so.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's a job as well.
Yes,
Being an artist is a job.
Yes.
And you wouldn't work for free.
Exactly.
You wouldn't work, unless you've got your own business and stuff like that. You wouldn't actually, you wouldn't sit there and be like, all right, cool, like I'm not gonna profit anything, but I get the experience.
Right.
But I don't get any paid for anything.
Right.
So it's kind of like, you have to learn how to balance that. So that's the reason why, like, music business and like things like business itself, you have to kind of balance that as well as doing your artistry. I mean, it's good to have a team, but you have to have a team also that kind of believes in you.
That too.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have management?
As of right now, no. I'm actually working under new management, just nothing on paper yet.
Okay. Well, congratulations for that. Especially if you're like, you're working something up, but just be careful. I'm not saying that I don't know them, so I don't know anything about what they do or anything like that.
Yes.
But you know contracts yourself, so that's all I'm saying is, because do you feel like artists can manage themselves, or do you think it's too much for them?
If you have the finances and if you know what you're doing on a business aspect, sure thing. Because you have artists like Tone Trump from Philly. He manages pretty much himself. Now, 100%, he definitely has like a group of people who works with him. So you still do need a team structure, but you don't necessarily need a manager, quote unquote, if you don't feel like you need one. But I mean, it really works for whoever. You just have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And then
I have seen some managers that have just done a little bit.
Because sometimes they don't know what they're doing, So sometimes their first work is with you, So yeah.
Exactly. I've done a little bit of management with an artist, and they did get quite well known and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's very stressful.
Yeah, because you're putting
Yeah.
your life aside to help them.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously we've been in a pandemic for the last 12 months, and I feel like the internet for the music has really, really been shining a lot because it's a lot more. Has it impacted you, or like has the internet impacted you, your music, or your business side of things for music?
On the pandemic side, yes, like it stopped a lot of personal plans that I had at first. So as
Mm.
of late, I've been knocking them out, now. But back then last year, I was trying to do it, and it slowed things up a bit. But that's fine.
Oh, okay.
As far
Is
as
that
from the
because you
music
couldn't go
side,
to the studio? Oh, okay, okay, yeah,
as far as for the music side, like you could say that, but I feel like you still got to move at your own pace.
yeah. Mm. I do feel like it's okay, so question,
Yes.
how many like tracks do you feel an artist should drop, like singles, should an artist drop before an album, or a visual before an album? So how many do you think they should drop, in your opinion?
I feel like a standard could be about 4, but
In a year?
in a year, yeah, about like 4, maybe 5. But it really all depends on the traction of the songs as well. Like if those songs are picking up, yes, put that song out. If that song is really picking up, yes, shoot a video for it. But even nowadays, you see rap artists shooting videos for songs that we would consider as like side B cuts, and those songs blow up too. So I feel like
What side B
going,
cuts?
yeah, like
Gosh.
just songs for your album.
Oh, okay.
You see songs like that blowing up now, versus like back then when we was growing up. Rappers would make songs for the radio or for the
Yeah.
for the masses. Versus nowadays, you just making good music that works for you, and if that blows up, it blows up. Then we just shoot a video for it. So
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays, just really do what you want, and if it works, it works.
Yeah. So do you have like a structure to how you plan your projects?
Yes. Yes.
What is it?
Yes. Yes. Listen, I'm a Virgo, so that's all we do is play. But
That's good though.
I just normally what I do is I'll make the projects, and then when I make the songs and everything is done, then we shoot the videos and we do our promo runs and stuff like that. Sometimes though, it might not go as planned, so you always got to readjust, just
Yeah.
in case, just in case. So
Yeah, exactly. So how many visuals do you have? Like, so you've dropped your album last year, and then you've dropped an album this year as well.
Yes.
So what visuals do you have out at the moment?
So I did shoot a video for Nuclear with myself and Porter Rich. We shot that. DJ Who Kid from G Unit, he actually played Nuclear on Shade 45 here in New York City back in November. I dropped a video for Money that's on Truly Yours as well, and I'm about to shoot another video, and then I got one more planned. Matter of fact, for the song, same thing. So about
Make
4
sure you
videos.
tag me in it.
Yeah.
Make sure you tag me in it.
100%.
So if you could open up a show for anybody, who would it be?
50 Cent and probably Drake or somebody like that.
Okay. They're very two different types of people.
Yeah. And I say that because 50, that's more like a selfish thing because I grew up on it. Drake, but no, I mean I feel he brings a different audience. So it's always good to perform in front of a new audience that can possibly like your music too. You know,
You're like girls throwing their knickers at you and stuff.
you know, why
Literally, you know what's crazy? Before Drake blew up, I saw him over here. He came over here with J. Cole,
not?
and he was on the small stage in the O2 over here.
Okay.
And like one of my friends invited me and stuff like that. And literally, I didn't know who he was. And then
Yeah.
the next thing, he blew up.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. I like literally saw him perform before he even was famous.
Yep.
And it's just, and that's even with that, like I've seen that happen quite a few times being in the music industry where artists are, you know, they do blow up and stuff like you just got to keep grinding, you know,
Yeah, that's it.
keep networking and stuff
You don't
like
get
that.
the right people. Yep.
Exactly. So as an artist, how do you network with people? What's your process?
I mean, well, as far as working with platforms like the ones you have, I'll just hit y'all up. Sometimes I'll follow your work first, so I know, you know, what I'm working with. Same thing with musicians. I'll listen to their work, you know, multiple times, and I just I'll listen to it, really dive into it, and then figure out, okay, where would they fit if me and said artist really did a record with each other. You know, that's how.
And so when you're doing that and stuff, like what's the challenging parts of it?
Making sure that we have a set schedule to knock the record out, because outside of music, everyone still has a life. So
Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
make sure that you know you're being considerate of someone else's time as well.
Okay. So what about when you're like, so if you say for example you hit up a label or an A&R or you hit up somebody on Instagram or social media, another social. So first of all, what social media platforms do you use as an artist? And secondly, what challenges do you face as an artist, and what advice would you give to people when trying to DM people? And like, I understand you follow their music flow and stuff like that, but you know how some people they just don't look at their messages or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you do to kind of reach out to them?
If it doesn't work out, don't sweat it. Once again, this is the music business, not the music friendship, and people don't have to come to your beck and call. You know, everybody
Do you feel like
they're doing.
Do you feel like, so for example, this is just an example. Say you hit up, you DM'd Atlantic Records or a radio station.
Okay.
What would you do in that process? So, because you know how they can be like, we get loads of DMs and da 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 da. So, what would you say what would you do to stand out?
Well,
obviously, don't give your secrets too much away because you know.
I would probably hit a like an A&R or someone over there, or some sort of VP, someone who I can speak to from a business aspect versus the artist, and or maybe their manager, or I would have someone who I know personally who is in that same room with them hit them up, because it's always good to have representation. Your manager would be somewhat like your lawyer. He represents you. He or she represents you. You know, so they're supposed to go in them rooms and represent you. Hey, I'm doing this with Young Bell. I'm doing this with Young, you know, such and such, whatever. So that's really the approach I would personally take it. Instagram and Twitter, it's fun, but it's like you have to really be professional with this too. You know, so you gotta take all of those things into big consideration when doing this, because again, everyone has time.
So you use Instagram and Twitter. Do you use any other platforms?
Snapchat, but that's rarely, like very rarely.
We all know what Snapchat is about.
Rarely.
No, I understand. And when was the last time you performed?
The last time I performed was, well, I ain't performed none last year, but the year before that, so 2019.
2019. You know what? 2020 is just.
I know. Yeah.
This is like. Have you got anything planned for the summer for performing?
Not as of yet, but there is an event that is coming up in Jersey, so we'll see.
Mm,
We will
hopefully.
see. We'll see.
And then you go on live so that I can see it
Yeah.
because we can't travel right now. So
I do got my passport, but y'all not letting us over there.
you can't let us over there. You need to speak to you. Well, actually, no. We have got like I don't know. The rules keep changing over here as well. So, but as soon as I swear, as soon as everybody's borders open up and
Yeah.
you know that we've got through this stupid ass pandemic,
Yeah.
we will like literally be exchanging events because I do really I
get a
want
lot
to
of
do
love
like.
in the Chelsea area of London.
Ooh, you
I wanna
get love from the posh people.
yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
They are like literally very well. I don't know. You know, there is probably I don't know, but I don't know if you ever seen Made in Chelsea. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. It's about basically a bunch of posh young people who spend daddy's money and stuff like that. You know. So, but hopefully we do get to have some like you know some exchange of performances and stuff. I definitely want to see a lot of artists come over from the US. Maybe there could be like one big kind of like road trip because I have got people over here as well that do regular events and things. So hopefully we can all collaborate it all together because
man, I want to meet Semtex and all of them.
Semtex.
Yeah,
Oh my
she's from
God.
Semtex.
Have you sent your music to BBC Introducing?
no. I
Oh,
haven't.
okay. I'll send you the details of how to send it to them
Okay.
because that's it. I'm actually surprised you know who Semtex is.
Listen, I'll pay attention. I'll be tuned in.
Yeah.
I'll be tuned in.
There's a couple of DJs that so DJ Westwood he's interviewed like Cardi B and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never
No,
met
Westwood.
him, but I've met Semtex and another DJ. And there's a DJ called DJ Jonesy who I literally grew up in the same city as him, and I used to go before he blew up. I saw him doing his DJ sets at there's a club in Plymouth called Candy Store.
Okay.
Yeah. And he used to DJ down there, but now he's just like he's on BBC and stuff. But BBC One Extra is the place to be for hip hop. So
yeah, that's
definitely
like Hot 97 over there.
yeah, exactly. And then you got Capital One Extra as well, so that's another one as
I
well.
heard of them too.
Yeah, so they are they do support. I'm trying to think. DJ Target is the person that you need to contact for underground. Like DJ Target, he support like he used to do a lot of underground shows and stuff like that. Like he's the VP of it or the president of it now, but he is somebody that you should contact as well. So yeah, DJ Semtex is more of a EDM kind of DJ, I think. So, but I
you never
actually,
know.
no, exactly. He used to DJ down. Like a lot of these DJs were DJing like back in the day when I used to go clubbing in my young days and stuff. And I've actually met most of them as well. So, which is crazy because I wasn't even in the music industry back then.
Gotcha.
It's crazy, isn't it? So, it's amazing how you meet people. So before we just wrap it up, what's your next 12 months going to be like as an artist?
More videos, more music, and just keep on doing platforms like these.
Yeah.
And hopefully when the world opens all the way up, we can really do more shows than just that's letting us do it, you know.
Exactly. But you never know, you might be able to get onto virtual shows as well. Definitely. But if anybody wants to contact you to put you on a platform, interview, how can they contact you?
You can contact me on my email, youngbellbookings@gmail.com, youngbellbookings@gmail.com. Or you could DM me at YoungBell 28. IG, Twitter.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm available.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really
No
appreciate
problem.
it. That's all the questions I go through. I really enjoyed this interview, and hopefully we can get you over here like
Yes.
soon.
Yes.
I have been told, because obviously I was meant to come to the States in June, and my travel agent told me that they're not looking to open up the borders till probably the end of the year. So definitely would start maybe looking at doing some events in 2022, but just get as much exposure and try and get onto some online performance platforms as well, because they will help as well. And I'll try and post more of those platforms as well to be able to help the underground artists. But I appreciate you, and I thank you for giving some gems. And I look forward to seeing that cover of DMX. I haven't forgotten. I would love to see that.
One last thing. So what did you think of my project overall when you heard it for the first time?
I thought it was good. Like, that's what I was saying, is like the DMX sound. I was like, if he had a little bit more aggression on his voice, and I like the fact that you collaborate with different kind of sounds as well. So you've really put that project together. You put thought, but I can tell you put thought behind that project and stuff.
I went through a lot making that project. A lot of people don't know, like the song, the very first song, "Truly Yours," is an ode to my grandmother. That's her voice.
Yeah.
That's her actual voice. Like when the song goes over, that's her voice.
Okay, let me put that on. So truly, let me just put that on. Hold on.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a hard one.
Are you playing the actual piano?
No. No. That beat was made that way.
It sounds like it's a real keyboard.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying that you're going, I wish I could sit down and just talk to you. Laugh one more time. Take a walk with you, show you how much I really care. We ain't talking issues, I'm talking love. The same love when I came to see you, how your eyes lit up. I knew you was excited, had the whole hood out. Would have thought I was a reckless. Sitting showing me some pictures, trialing me in diapers. Now I'm sitting here lifeless on the phone, getting the
I like the thought behind your covers as well. Your like album covers. So that's her. Oh. I can't sing.
It's all good.
I like it. And that's the thing in your music as well, I've noticed, is you tell a story in your music as well.
Yeah.
So I would have started like doing the I can't sing that because it's really loud. So I'm like, you know,
It's
when
okay.
you're like you got music on really loud and stuff, you end up being like, like you think you're really good and that kind of person. Yeah. I don't like, even though that I had choir lessons and stuff like that as a kid, I have no musical talent like that. I just know the business and I can interview. That's about it. I let that. I leave that the rest of you guys. So.
Most people need that part.
Just one of those people that I like to talk. So you know, so this is like a perfect opportunity.
One more thing: have you ever worked with artists like Skepta and Gigs and them? I know they're
not
from London.
Yeah. Yeah, you're impressed. You're impressing me.
yeah, you know, I told you, I stay in tune.
Gigs, I've been to Gigs' studio, but I've never actually met him in person. Okay. I've met one of his friends who I was managing for a little bit. Not managing, like doing promotion for them and stuff like that for a little bit. But I've been to his studio, Unit 10 in Peckham, which is actually, I think it is still there as well. So it's actually Gigs' studio. So, And you know, it is a very, 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 very small studio as well. It's crazy because you'd think he'd be in this massive studio, you know, but he's not. He's in literally a box.
Wow.
The studio is really, because you know, okay, so I don't know if you guys have this over there, but you know, units, like, do you know what sheds are?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like a shed.
Wow.
Like the size of a shed. It is so small. But yeah, that's it's called Unit 10 Studios in Peckham in London. That's where it's best. I don't know if he still goes there, but I've been to that studio once, and I was like, this is really small. So,
I'm sure he made great music out of there, though.
Yeah,
Sometimes you don't need
literally.
those big studios.
Exactly. Sometimes it's just about those one-on-one sessions. Like it's kind of like the space was kind of like here of where I sat, and then the engineer, and then just a little bit further down was the actual booth itself.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was very small.
Yeah.
And it's still going. So
Wow.
salute. So I don't know if he owns it though. I think it's owned by somebody else, but it's like, yeah. I've never met Giggs, but I've met like people that he's associated with and stuff. So, but I'm impressed.
What about Georgia Smith or someone like that? Stormzy?
Stormzy lives well, he used to live down the road from me.
Okay.
I've never not met him, but he went to the same school my son went to.
Okay.
Have you heard of Michael Dapper?
I probably have.
Yeah,
I don't
he's not like Michael Dapper's not. He's more of a comedian.
Okay.
He's more of a comedian, but he started doing music and stuff, and he blew up. But I knew him before he blew up. So yeah, it's crazy because these people, like, you just see them on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I salute them. I don't know if you heard of Miss Banks.
Yes.
Yeah, she used to be one of my friends as well. I used to see her performing, like me and her used to talk and stuff like that. And then she, obviously, you know, as things happen, but I'm really proud of her because I've seen her go from literally just starting her music career to where she is now. So you see, anything's possible.
Yep, that process.
So yeah, so I used to like literally. There's one time she was ready to perform at an event and stuff, and I was in like helping her get changed in the bathroom, and it was like because there was no dressing rooms in it and stuff like that. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how you see these people and things,
right,
and how they blow up. But yeah, she's somebody that I used to like proper vibe with and stuff, and then you know, she went on her way with becoming who she is today and stuff. So yeah, so it's like it's just one of those things. But I love seeing things like that. I've seen quite a few artists blow up. Like, because I used to do event management as well, and I've done a little bit of everything. Like I did event management and stuff, and I used to basically collate, like, because I was an event manager and an A&R, so I basically used to have to search for artists, like go to events, search for artists to basically attend another event. So, which is a company called UK Unsigned Hype. Still love them to bits and stuff, but they haven't been having they haven't had any performances or anything like that for a little while because of the pandemic and things. Right. Then there's Vibes with Us as well. There's like loads. There's MOE, which is in Brixton. There's like people I used to like find artists for to put them onto the next platform and stuff. And Miss Banks was one of them. There's a guy called Tobes, who's someone that performed at the events as well. There's quite a few artists. Like literally, I know I've been through thousands and thousands of artists, and yeah, and like probably about 5% of those people have blown up. I don't know about the rest of them. Some of them are still doing music. Someone gave up the mic, unfortunately. Yeah. It happens. Sometimes people just be like, all right, You know, like how people become they become family. They have families and stuff like that. So some,
that gets
you know,
Yep.
sometimes priorities have to change and stuff because
Exactly.
you know, music is one of those things where you have to be patient to
Yep.
basically earn from it.
Yes.
But I am impressed. You see, you got me talking. You got me talking. I was like,
I told you I love music. It's not just rap for
yeah.
me. And I've always been a person that wanted to like travel. Hence why I got my passport. And London was always one of those places where I really wanted to go. And then like you see artists, like I said, like Skepta, like Stormzy, like Giggs, like Georgia Smith, like Stefflon Don, and all these other people that's from the outside that's doing their thing and like blowing up. And I'm like, oh, okay, y'all got rappers over there too. You know, so
yeah.
y'all doing y'all thing.
So okay, let me tell you
this.
So Vibes of Us, my girl Miss Hins does a show every Monday, an open mic on Instagram.
Okay.
It's at, I believe it's at 8 p.m. my time, so 87654. So it'll be 3 p.m. your time. It's every Monday. I'll share it with you when it's next on, but it's, you know, on Monday.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's an opportunity for you to be able to network with some UK artists and also, and you do get a lot of rappers, UK rappers on there, but you do get singers as well.
Yeah.
So, and then hopefully you can spit something for us too.
No.
But I do want to ask you something.
Yes.
Because you know, like, you know, DMX. Can you bark like DMX?
You're gonna be barking on the interview.
I love it. I had to ask.
Because look, so I was working in Brooklyn for a little bit, right? And I was telling them I rap, I make music. So the guy was playing my song. And he was like, he sounds like DMX. So then at work, they'd be like grunting their voice like me. And I'd be like, what are y'all doing? They'd be like, they trying to sound like me doing the X. I said, y'all I'll be telling people, it's not playing, okay? Jesus just made me and him sound like this.
You know what I mean? But please, can you do a DMX cover? I would love that.
You know what's
seriously
crazy? I had did something for these, for someone in London. They was like a playlist curator for Spotify or whatever. And guy heard my song and he was like, yo, you got like a good voice. And it's funny that everyone says that now because growing up, I didn't like how my voice sounded. So now hearing that reassurance, it just lets me know that I'm going in that right direction. So appreciate it. Thank you.
That's all right. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's not me with the talent, it's you with the talent, you know? So keep doing what you're doing. And I got the bop on the interview online. I freaking love it. I love it. Anyway, I don't know if this is going to cut out in a minute because we've got like a minute left. So thank you again. Because I know that they have a time limit on these things, but I've really enjoyed this interview, and thank you. Please don't forget to do the DMX cover because I really want to hear it. You're gonna get loads of requests. I'm gonna be like DMX. I'm gonna get everybody else to like message you DMX. I love that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Have a great evening, and we will speak offline. And I'll share the live with you when Vibes of Us comes back on Monday, okay? Appreciate you. Take care.
No problem. Much love to everybody over there.
Yeah.
See y'all later. Y'all enjoy.
Yeah. See you later.
Yes.
Well, guys, that was Young Bale. And I really enjoyed that interview. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting the artist, and definitely make sure you go follow, check out his music. His bio has all his links in it. So the link tree has like literally Spotify, the videos, everything, and he contacts you as well. But I appreciate you guys for joining us this evening. This is Mimsy UK Official signing out.